Hi everyone, I'm Lena McKechnie from Savvy Cake Sydney, and today in Savvy Sesh I'm chatting to Amy Chapman from Inspired Cakes by Amy. How you going, Amy?
Yeah, good, thanks. How you going?
Yeah, good, thank you. How is it when you are? Like, it's been freezing here at the moment, but beautiful sunny day today here, so.
Yeah, I'm in Barrel. It's always freezing. Got the heater behind me because that's as warm as I can get. Jumper on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for winter to be over already. So tell me about, how long have you been doing cakes for?
What year is it? 2022. Like, I'm not going to do the maths, but I started in end of 2016 when my son was born. Yeah, probably 2017 when I started doing it for money.
I feel like you kind of exploded onto the scene from nowhere. Like, I feel like, yeah, like a lot of cakers you'll find are kind of a slow burn, and I mean, I know a lot of them in Australia. A lot of people are kind of like a slow burn, but I feel like you were just like, bam, she's here. Just doing these mind-blowing sort of cakes. So is that, is your style, like, I can pick an Amy Chapman cake. I don't know if you find the same with other decorators where you can go, oh yeah, that's a such and such, or that's a such.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I can pick your style a mile away. So is that something
awesome.
that just came to you, or that you worked on, or?
Oh, it's just sort of what happens, isn't it? When you do what you do, and then that just becomes you. I love art and sculpture and things like that. That's always been part of me. So that's probably why I've gotten straight into that side of things first up. Yeah, it's just, the more you do something, the more you love something, it just becomes part of who you are. So hopefully people see that in my work and like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, did you start out like as the typical have kids that need a creative outlet kind of story, like all of us or most of us?
Pretty much. Yeah, so I have a degree in fine arts. I went to university to do art and sort of sculpture and all that I loved. And I've always loved baking. It's always been part of me too. Quite a few years there, I was working in an office, doing the accounting and the admin and the managing people. And then I had children, which is what I wanted to do for a long time. It's very important to me to have my family. And, things don't go to plan. My son couldn't go to daycare, and I had to find a way to earn money that wasn't your normal 9-to-5 job around my family. And it just sort of came up because like, I always found cakes really important. I don't know, do you remember like when you're a kid and then how special it was when your mum made you a special cake from the Woman's Weekly cookbook or something like that? That was so special to me. And when I finally got my family, I really wanted to make sure that I could do that for them. And it just sort of evolved from there. It wasn't really a oh, I'm going to be a cake decorator and this is what I'm going to do now. It was just like, that was the important part for me, was to make that cake, that first birthday cake for my son. And it was so special, and I put so much, it was a 3-tiered cake, and it's probably looks terrible when I look back at it now, but it was, I was proud of it, and my son loved it, and it achieved everything I wanted to achieve. And yeah, people are like, you should do this. And I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like fun, I will. So it's sort of evolved from there, and then all the sculpting part came into it, and I just loved it. So keep doing it.
Yeah, and that makes total sense that you're, having a fine arts degree. I didn't know that about you, and loving sculpture, because it definitely, you can see it in your cake, because, yeah, some of the stuff that you've been able to produce, like, is just mind-blowing, and the attention to detail. So I'm really not surprised that you've got a degree in fine art, because your cakes are like fine art. So what
Thank
is
you.
the part of your job now that you love the most? What's the best bit?
Oh, I love problem solving. yeah, I love a challenge. I think that's me. I love a challenge. I don't like being bored. So if somebody comes to me with something, I try to find the hardest way I can do it. Like how can I make this more difficult and solve that problem? Yeah, it's probably unintentional, but that's what I do, and I love. Keeps me going.
Yep. And do you find now, because probably I'd say 95% of your cakes are like sculpted and 3D type of cakes, which I was going to say is that, do you think that's your niche? But I think we've kind of covered that. Obviously it is because of that sculpture background and that art background. So do people ever come to you and just want like regular cakes?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and I take them sometimes too, because the change is good as well. I don't mind doing something like that, or with a nice, really cool figurine or something like that. If you can dress it up a bit. I do. I don't. I'm really behind in posting all my pictures, and sometimes I just don't get there to take them. But I try really hard on my sculpted ones because I like putting them out there. Yeah, there's been quite a few that I haven't been able to put online, and I don't really put those ones online because I prefer people to come to me with the sculptor kind of cakes, because that's my real passion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you don't have to put everything that you do on your social anyway, I guess. So that's a good lesson.
I do find it hard to keep up though, because you've kind of got to be consistent, and that's sort of probably my downfall.
Yeah.
Because when you do sculpted cakes, it takes you so long, so you can't do so many of them. So yeah, you don't have as much to post and keep up to date, and yeah, it's a bit difficult that way.
So do you have any cake heroes that you look up to in the world of cake decorating or sugar art or anything like that? Like, do you have someone that you just, oh my God, everything they touch is amazing?
Oh, so many. And in so many different ways too, like people who are really skilled at what they do, and then there's people who are really good at business, and yourself. Yeah, like I look up to people who are really good at putting themselves out there, things that I'm not good at. I'm not very good at. Yeah, I'm a bit humble, I guess. I'm not very good at saying I'm good or putting myself out there at all, and being social. Where I look up to those people because this sort of comes naturally to them. But I also, cake heroes, there's Cale, and I love her, just her attention to detail in faces, because faces are something I love and I'm really interested in, and I've been interested in like nature and the human form for a very long time, and I see perfection there, and I would just love to spend a day, a week, I don't know, whatever minutes, whatever time I could get with her, just to have coffee. Yeah, just so many people, like when you like ACDN, there's so many people there. I've got some really great friends like Magdalene and Sarah. Yeah, and it's such beautiful people. Yeah, I really love the people as well. So
yeah,
makes a difference.
I think that's what probably the best thing is about networks like the ACDN, is that because we're all working from home and we're isolated on our own, there's this whole group of people out there who are there exactly like us. So that's why we get a bit crazy when we get together, because we're all like seeing each other again. So it's exciting because that they're doing the same stuff as you're doing, and they're sitting on their own in their kitchen as well every day. Like, don't get me wrong, wouldn't have any other job, but yeah, like it's just that bit isolating. So to know that there are other people there who you can call on for advice or run stuff by or whatever, it's just good. Like, it's excellent. It's amazing. So I think that connection is what keeps us going sometimes.
Absolutely. I don't mind working on my own. It's great, but like, you really kind of need to bounce off people sometimes.
Yes.
And there's not many people around who understand what we do. So to have such supportive people who genuinely support and want to see you do well and offer advice or just to chat, you know, just it's great. Like I was blown away actually by the AC Dan group and the friendships I've made. So yeah, I look up to a lot of people, and they're all sort of in that group, I think.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Even there's a lot of overseas artists in there
Yeah.
who have taught before who are in there as well. You just wouldn't know it. So yeah, it's amazing. So at the moment, you've launched some products as well that you've got on your website.
I'm so excited. I've been working so hard for so long. You wouldn't know it. You don't know how long some of these things take in the background, but I've been up many late nights, many months working out some great designs to really help. I think a lot of people probably have seen my car cakes, and I get lots of questions daily, weekly, all the time about how I do it. And I thought it was a really good opportunity to try and make things easier. And I didn't want to just do one product. I wanted to answer as many questions as I could, because this is a space where people really struggle car cakes, and people don't want to make car cakes because it's scary or it takes a lot of time. And yeah, I've got a website up now where you can buy these structures, because they are really adaptable and universal. And that's one problem that people struggle with: how to make the structure and how to get it to work with their particular car model that they're making. And then I've got these wheel molds and mags that are really universal, that you can mix and match, and they've been designed, I've designed them to the same size as what you would use with the structures.
So they fit
so
together.
It's all really compatible and easy and right there. And I'm working on a tutorial, an online tutorial to help as well. So I just really want to make a space where people can come. They don't know how to make a car cake, or maybe they do and they just need, you know, bits and pieces. So yeah, I just really wanted to make a place for somebody to come and just be able to get anything that they need to be able to make a car cake. So whether there's blueprints or edible images or silicone molds or tools. I've got a ganache scraper that has a side profile of a car that just really makes it a lot neater. And I've done a lot of research. I've overlaid hundreds and hundreds of blueprints over my structures and my ganache scraper and the sizing of the wheels too, to make it really universal, really easy. So you don't need 100 products, you just need one or two, and they all work together. And it's so good.
Yeah, that's amazing. I sometimes will get car, and I've done like the odd fire truck and like novelty cars and stuff like that, which is fine. But as soon as someone sends me like a VN Commodore, I'm like, no, I'm out. Because you just go like, holy crap, I can't do that. Like, it's just going to take forever, and I'm never going to be able to charge enough to do it. And then you post pictures of like the perfect VN Commodores, and you just go, oh my God, like it's raised up and it's got wheels, and you just like, it's amazing. So to be able to do it,
you should try it.
I'd need you next to me. I think I need to go, what am I doing? So, but to know that, like, to see yours and then to know that the products are there to help, like, I think that would give people a lot of confidence, even if they've done cars before but need to fine tune them or need them to look less cartoony and more real life and things like that. Like, I think that's like a real niche that you can hone in on, that you have obviously honed in on, because you are the queen. I call you the queen of car cakes. And I have clients to you going, I can't do that, but I know who can.
Thanks. So look, I have been doing them for a while now, and I was just saying to my husband the other day, I remember the first time I was asked to make a car cake, and it was the same. I was like, oh, can I do this? how do I do this? What do I charge for this? And I don't know, should I do this because I haven't done it before? Or, you know, how, like, where do I even start? So I had all those questions myself, and it's just that hurdle. It was just that, right, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to learn. And I've been doing it for a couple of years now. So I sort of come across all these problems, and I've just one by one tried to tick them off just to try and help people. So I think if you can just say yes, and then you go to my website and you can see, you know, there's all this stuff that can support you, the whole process, and not just here's one part of it and figure the rest out, or whatever. So I really wanted to make the whole thing a lot easier. And the structures are huge time savers. They really are, because I just myself, like, each car cake I got, I would be drawing it, I would be planning it, scaling it, and then I'd have to, you know, make the structure and cover the structure, build the structure up, and, you know, make sure everything's food safe. And it's just each individual one had to be made. But these structures are really universal, so they're going to suit pretty much any car cake. There's you know, some of the Disney ones maybe not, but you're creative, you can.
Yeah, that's so good. I love the fact that that you can just make it work with that one piece of equipment. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely going to be. And I mean, the first time that you do something like that is always the hardest, because you're constantly, like, the second time you would do it, you'd be like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now. So I guess the more that you're doing it, the easier and the quicker it's going to get in terms of time management and price points and things like that. But I think it's awesome. So, you know, particularly if you've got a tutorial with your face in it and you're standing there with you to, you know, to fall back on as well, to give people that advice as they go, is invaluable help, I think, for people who want to get into that style of cake. Is there, in the generic sort of cake world, is there some style of cake that you love? Is there like a style of cake that you just maybe have never made that you want to make? And you know what the next question is?
Like dream cake. Okay.
Yeah. You look at any cakes and just go, oh, it's so pretty. I love it.
I love sculpting, and I do love sugar flowers and things. I don't have the time to do everything, which is my biggest frustration, because there's so many things I want to do, and I just wish I had twice as many hours in a day. But I would I to make something on a big scale, like life size. I think that's my next. I would love to do that. It doesn't really matter what. I mean, I love nature. I love natural sculpting, people, animals, dinosaurs, things like that. That will come really naturally to me. But something on a huge scale. That's what I'd love to do.
Yeah, that's amazing. Are there any cakes that you're just sick of looking at?
Yeah, unicorn cakes, drip cakes.
Oh my God.
I'm no good at drip cakes. Please don't ask me to make a drip cake. I can't do it.
I think there are some really beautiful ones, but I'm kind of like at the stage now where I don't want to do it anymore.
I mean, I don't mind. There's some really beautiful ones to see, but I can't do it. Please don't ask me to do it. give me a dinosaur or a truck. I can't. I don't know. My brain doesn't work that way. I'm just like, I can't control those drips. I need to be able to control everything.
You sound like a total cake decorator. Needs to be in control all the time. So it's funny. What has been your biggest cake fail?
I made a 3D rabbit like early on, and I just remember that the lady was coming to pick it up in an hour or so, and then the head sort of tumbled off into the sink. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Massive panic, but I managed to remake and pull it together in the end, and she was happy, so that was the main thing. But definitely lesson learned in structure there. Didn't make that mistake again.
And isn't it always those fails that are your biggest lessons? Like, it's always you would never imagine that a head would fall off a bunny cake, but then you just go, okay, that's never happening again. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I spend a lot more time now planning, making sure everything's perfect, because that was just, I couldn't imagine if that happened, you know, at an event or a venue or something. That would be terrible disaster.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Do you have a favourite tip or trick for cake decorators out there who want to get into sculpted cakes? A little secret that you can tell them?
A secret, yeah. The right tools for starters. Planning, I think. There's a lot of planning that goes in before you even start, and just having lots of different. So, I guess if it's a car cake, you want all different angles, and you really want to zoom in on the features as well. And yeah, that's what I do. But the right tools, and just take your time as much as you can. That's the hard part. But take each section as it comes, instead of looking at the big picture and freaking out. Just sort of break it down into smaller parts and step by step.
Yeah, good advice. Are you a messy caker or a neat one?
I would like to be a neat one. Yeah, I'm a neat freak. It stresses me out with all the mess, but it's unavoidable, isn't it? Mess when you're working to deadlines and you're working with so many different materials and tools, and it's unavoidable. Yeah.
What's your biggest vice while caking? Is there something that you just constantly do to yourself when you're working that you just go, oh,
I need to get better at it.
Yeah.
I need to get better at the social side of things. I think just being consistent in posting and the content. I'm always in the kitchen and designing and creating, and I sort of forget that part. It's hard to keep on top of that, because that's kind of important, isn't it, really, these days?
It is really hard. I think because it's such a hands-on job, at the end of the day, mine is probably admin, like invoicing.
I mean, I love that stuff, because
you want to do is turn the computer on, like you've just been going, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. You've got to kind of sit down and dedicate that time. And socials are a bit the same, I think. You've got to kind of dedicate that time in the videos and stuff. It's
really evolving too, having like the social side of things with videos and things like that. You sort of got to be good at a lot of different areas. So it's hard to keep up with, but it's a challenge, and I like a challenge, so we'll get there. Yeah, absolutely. I think I think with these products going out too, you'll probably find it easier, because it's easier to take a photo of it if it's not actually a cake. That you've got more merch side, and once you get that tutorial up and running, things can just sort of flow. So that's the goal. That's the goal, to do that tutorial. It's high priority. Shouldn't be too long. Yeah, it sounds amazing. I think it's really going to help a lot of people. Do you watch anything while you're working, or listen? Like, do you have like a Netflix or a show that or? I'm pretty behind in the times. Hey, I've only just got Spotify, and I think that's gold. I love, there's not something, anything upbeat and happy. That's my jam. Anything like that. Mood lifting. I don't know. Have you got a good list? Send it to me. Yeah, I've got some playlists on Spotify that keep me dancing in the kitchen. Something like that. I need some new stuff. I'm a bit the same. I need to get upbeat stuff to keep me moving. Otherwise, I'm just a bit more sometimes. Yeah, it's hard to get motivated. Yeah, that's it. What's your favourite cake flavour? I'm not much of a cake person. caramel, I guess. Yeah, yum. Anything caramel and sweet like that. But I don't know. I kind of, because you're around cake so often, it's hard. Like at first, it's like, oh, there's all this cake, I'm going to eat it, and now it's like, oh, more cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets
Kids haven't
older.
got there yet. Kids still eat way too much cake.
As they do. And so what's coming up for you?
So yeah, I've got heaps of sculptor cakes coming up, some pretty cool ones, and I'm really loving the new side of my business. I'm really loving these products and the tutorial that I'm working on, and yeah, I'm just going to keep working on that. I think I've got enough on my plate, as much as there's 101 things that I want to do. But yeah, I think just keep working on those things and trying to help people get seen a little bit more, I guess. Hopefully, car cakes don't become, or they can become less scary. Because yeah, like you said, people just gotta go, whoa. But there's such a great, so many people who want them. I think if we can just make it a little bit easier for cake decorators, then they'll actually do well. So yeah, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. All right, thanks so much for joining me today. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got coming out soon. Actually, little known story, whether or not we edit this in or not, it's up to you. But I'll tell you a story about one of your cakes that I saw, probably, I don't know if it was pre-COVID. This lady had emailed me and said, I want this cake. And the email, I can't remember if I've told you this, but the email made my head spin. She wanted a train at a platform.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted people. She wanted people
Got
on
it.
the platform. And I was reading it just going, I don't know. And I thought of you straight away. And I was like, you know what you're describing sounds amazing, but it's really kind of not what I do. It's not really my style. But you need to try Amy at Inspired Cakes by Amy down in Barrel. And then totally forgot all about it. I don't even know if she wrote back to say, yep, thanks, whatever. Like 6 months later, I see this cake on your page and I was like, that's the cake. I'm like, pick it. Like, it was amazing. The detail in it was incredible.
Awesome.
So I'll have to post it so people watching can see it, because it's like, it was insane. But yeah, it was just so bizarre to see this cake that had been described to me in front of me like months later, and I just knew it straight away. I knew that was her. So
yeah, that was.
But yeah, it was just not something that I was like head spinning crazy.
Yeah, you get some of those.
Like,
I was reading through, oh gosh, some of the back and forth emails. Like, this is one of the time consuming things that is a bit difficult. But I looked back at, it wasn't that cake, but it was very similar. It was like 50 emails back and forth, just trying to keep up with all those details and all the little changes and everything is quite yeah, it gives you a bit of anxiety, hey, to make sure that you get everything right. So I'm glad that one came through okay, that you could see that, yeah, she liked it too. So win.
Yeah, tick, done. Next challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got about 5 challenges going at once at the moment, but
I'm sure you'll come through it with flying colours. So, well, thank you for joining me today on this Winter's Day. Yeah, as I said, looking forward so much to seeing what you're going to do next and seeing those templates being used and getting out there some more. So that would be amazing to watch them as they progress. So, yeah, so I hope that we get to catch up soon, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, hopefully we can catch up soon. That'd be awesome. So I'll catch you then. Thank you.